Hello everybody, Noctis457 here. I thought I'd better just go over a general update of what I've got in terms of Airsoft and what I plan to do in the future. So for a start, I've got basically all of my weapons just surrounding me right now. It's kind of hectic in here. So to start off with, we've got my little favourite as far as pistols are concerned. This is my Tokyo Marui Glock 34. It's a nice pistol, I do like it, but it does have its flaws. So if I just take the slide off, nice and quick. Now, I don't know whether you know how a Glock outer barrel is. I don't know if you know how a Glock outer barrel is meant to look, but I don't know if you'll be able to see very well, but I don't know whether that's going to be very well in focus, but it's missing a little chunk there. And on top of that, it's also missing a little chunk on the top. I have no idea how that looked, by the way, so I might have to retake that, but yeah, that's because despite it being Tokyo Marui and despite the fact that that they can only use plastic, therefore they try and use the best plastic they can get their hands on, the outer barrel does not seem like it's made out of very good plastic. So what I am going to end up doing with this is I'm going to end up having to buy. I was going to just buy an outer barrel. However, you can. It seems I cannot find anywhere where you can buy just an outer barrel. So what I'm going to do, rather than getting a whole new slide, whole innards for that, which is about 165 quid apparently, I'm just going to buy the WeTech G34 and see if the parts match up. If they do, great. If they don't, whoopee, I've got a new pistol. But I'm really hoping that gets this thing working again, because it still fires. It still works, but it has a tendency with those two missing pieces on the outer barrel. It has a tendency to double feed. It also has a tendency to not fire properly. It doesn't have the same kind of range that it would do if the barrel was in one piece. I've also got a little laser sight on the end of it. Nice little laser sight that I've had for a while. I can't even remember where I got it, but it's lasted me very nicely. Then we move over to my, my second serious airsoft pistol. My first one was the M92, but that's dead. That's long dead. This is my WeTech Glock 18C. I've fitted custom fibre optic sights to it, which were given to me by a friend. It's a nice pistol. Unlike the Glock 34, it is pretty much all metal in the slide and everything, apart from the lower receiver, which is all polymer, as it is on the real version. But the problem I've got with this, gas efficiency, absolutely horrible. Regardless of if it's on semi or full auto, it just hates gas. On top of that, I seem to be having an issue with all of my Glock magazines. They keep having a habit of leaking, and I haven't even done any kind of modification or anything to them. They just keep leaking. So what I'm going to do at the Airsoft game that I'm at next week, I'm going to have the guys there take a look at all of my mags, and I'm going to ask them to see if they can just repair them all for me, because I don't know what's up with them. They just have this constant habit of leaking. Moving on, and this is a favourite. ASG Dan Wesson 8-inch barreled revolver. CO2. It's a very, very, very nice revolver. I love it to bits. The only problem I have with it is the plastic grips. I've managed. If you try and simulate any recoil at all, if you try and rock it at all, which it's a non-blowback, so it doesn't have any recoil, but if you try and mock recoil it at all, then the inside of the grips, this area here, and on the other side, and even down here, have a tendency, as I might be able to show you, have a little tendency to just snap away a bit. And while that doesn't affect the performance of the weapon still fires, and it still fires great. It does mean that grip, I mean, I'm holding that pretty firmly and it's rocking quite badly. Yeah, it just doesn't feel as solid as it did when I first got it, but technically speaking, that is my fault because of the mock recoil thing, and that's something that I have put into it. That's just my habit of holding revolvers. But I am going to try and get a hold of some new grips, which it seems you cannot buy black grips. You cannot buy straight black grips anymore. You can only get the wood ones. But if anyone knows is different, please tell me, because I would like to get this thing some better grips. And I also fitted the rail to it because as much as I like it just on its own, I tried fitting the rail to it once and I thought, oh well, this looks awesome, and I haven't removed it since. It doesn't affect its ability to draw it because I use an underarm holster for that. So it doesn't affect any. It doesn't really affect anything on the weapon at all. It's not even that heavy. But yeah, moving on from that. This is a serious favourite, and it's only recently come back from the dead. This is my. I can't even get it all in shot, but this is my MB08 sniper rifle. On the first day, on the first game I took this on, I got 32 kills with it over the course of the day, and I hadn't even properly sighted in. This was a scope that I've had for a long time. I originally fitted it to my M16, and then I got this straight on there. It's a fantastic weapon, and as I said, it's only recently come back from the dead because if I try and cock it. Now, what would happen before I fixed it was I would load it and it would behave like it was not cocked. If I pulled the trigger, it wouldn't behave like it was cocked. However, now it fires. The reason for that is I found out that the trigger sear had actually snapped in two. Now, this is one of the reasons why I got Patrol Base up, because upgrades and maintenance, if we go to spring internal parts and sears, it's even, there we go, the APS, I got the last one. I got the last set. That's what's currently in here at the moment. I should probably oil up the trigger box now that I think about it. But this includes the main trigger sear and the piston sear, and what happened is that trigger sear had snapped in two. This was the stock one that had snapped in two, so I got this and it fires again. So I am very proud of it. It's a very, very nice rifle, and I've got a suppressor on it that's actually semi-functional. So yeah, very, very nice weapon, and I do not plan to get that changed out for anything, certainly not anytime soon. Now, this is my main staple weapon. This is my M16. That's my high cap mag that I hate using high cap mags. Ever since I started with M16s, I have just hated high caps. I cannot use them. So for that reason, I use mid caps, and as you can see, I've got mag pulls fitted to all six of my, have I got 6 or 5 mid cap mags? all 6 of my M16 mags, and they're mid caps. I've got 3 high caps. I'm trying to get rid of them. I've got laser sight, foregrip. I originally had camo tape wrapping all over it instead of just on the stock and on the receiver and on the grip. But then I thought, I'm changing parts way too often on the front end, so I may as well take the camo wrapping off just to make it easier for me to get to that back section. So that's what happened there. I've got a very nice red dot sight that, believe it or not, I got from Wish. And I can't remember how I checked last night how much I paid for this thing, and well, I tried to. It seems that the listing for it, some special snowflake decided to get offended about it and flagged it as inappropriate. It's a sight. You could fit that to an air rifle. You could fit it to anything. So whatever special snowflake decided to go marking it as inappropriate, I have no idea. But it's a very, very nice red dot sight. It's certainly the better of the 2 that I have. The other one, I think I got the other one off Patrol Base. In fact, I might be able to find it. Attachments and accessories. It is a sights and scopes, holographic and reflex, I guess. So that's pretty much this. These 2 are pretty much this one. Only mine was cheaper than that. The ASD Strike, that's the one that I have, besides this one. So the key thing about this one, as opposed to the ASD Strike, is this one has 4 selectable reticles. So it's got regular points, it's got a point with a circle around it, it's got proper crosshairs, and then it's got a crosshairs with a circle in the middle. If I turn it on, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. Weapon is on safe. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. I don't know if you can see it at all, but it's probably horribly out of focus as well. But yeah, that is my very, very nice red dot sight that I may end up also fitting. I might end up getting a second one of these and fitting it to my my new weapon that's going to be on its way as of tomorrow. I also got a lens protector for this. I did originally buy it for the scope that I have on my L96, and I might end up chopping and changing between the 2, whichever I decide to use. But it works. I haven't actually had any scope hits yet, so this is still clean. But it's good to have one just around, just in case you get that stray BB happen to hit your scope. As you may be able to see, I've also got a point here for mounting a camera. If I ever manage to get around to editing the footage, I have some footage from my last Airsoft game that was using camera on this point. As you may also be able to see, most of this weapon is blue, as is the same case with my Glock 18. The reason for this is because I bought these 2 before I got my UCARA license. I now have said license, which is why I've got the sniper rifle and the other Glock. And the reason why I got these before I got my UCARA was because I knew that if I wanted to, I could just get replacement parts and just set it back to black. But I just had to have my own loadout because, above anything else, it's paid for itself. Because if I didn't have these weapons before I got my UCARA license, I would be using rental equipment all the time, and that's £20 every time from the airsoft company that I go to. This is a good chance to bring them up. This is the company that I go to all the time. Let's get them full screened. Rift Airsoft, fantastic group. I've been with them since April. In fact, membership renewal. Click here, and if we go way down in the numbers, where am I? There I am. I'm due in April to renew it, because what happens is you pay 25 quid and you get unique 3-digit number, which is what I've got. I'm 990 or 990, and I've got the shield. It's on my uniform. But we have, let's see, minimum of 10% discount on retail airsoft guns and accessories. That alone can, as they say, is worth way more than 25 quid and pays for itself. If that wasn't enough, you also get discounted rates on BBs from them. So normally I think it's 9 quid for 0.2 gram BBs a bottle. And then it's 10 or 11 quid for the 0.25s. So you get a discounted rate for those. You get the shield, which is pretty cool on its own. If you play 3 games within the space of 2 months, as is the case anywhere, as long as the site itself is UCARA registered, you can get your UCARA license through them. And technically speaking, you now know 3 numbers of my UCARA number. But you can't have a membership and just buy weapons. You have to get the registration. You get private forum access. You get priority booking. You get special discounts with Pro Airsoft supplies. You get special discounts with Combat UK, who are normally, and this was what I was saying about the Glock Mags thing earlier. Combat UK run a really, well, at the site that I normally go to, which is the Village, aka Apocalypse Airsoft. No, not Apocalypse Airsoft. Apocalypse Paintball in Royston. That's the only site I can get to at the moment. But basically, Combat UK run a mini shop in there, and on every game day, there's like weapons and mods and shit everywhere that you can buy, and it's great. It's absolutely fantastic. It's where I bought this from, actually, and I do not regret that at all. Along with a few of my magazines as well. But this was because it's TM, I didn't get a discount on it. But yeah, you get. Oh wait, that's 10% discount on products from Pro Airsoft Supplies, whereas you can't get it on TM Magpul or special offers or promotions. Special offers or promotions also on Combat UK. So yeah, as I say, it's 25 quid a year, pays for itself. It's really, really useful. And on top of that, if we go back to here, for each subscribed year you get a silver star. After 4 years you receive a new veteran shield. I haven't got a veteran shield, of course. I've only been registered for not even a year yet, so I haven't even got a single silver star yet, but we are coming up on April fairly rapidly, and when that time comes, I will renew it and I will get a silver star. But as I say, that's something to come. So yeah, I'm already booked in on this. This is my next game day, 6th of January, which is in a week today. So let's have a look. We've got all sorts of things. So this is just at the village, which is Apocalypse Paintball. So what happened was Rift, or I think probably Tony, the owner of Rift, went and had a chat to Apocalypse Paintball about a year ago and said, hey, can we start playing games over at your site? And because I know Apocalypse Paintball really well, I've been to their site as a paintballer. I've got a paintball gun as well, but that's not Airsoft. I've been paintballing there many times. Fantastic site. It's a nice starting area as well. Like if you haven't done paintballing or airsoft before, Apocalypse Paintball is one of the best places you can go. It's a nice woodland area, and the problem I have with woodland area is I'm fine with it, but I've been playing there for nearly a year, and that's the only place I've been able to play, and it gets a little bit boring after a while. I do want to go to more places. I do want to start getting out a bit more. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on over the next year. I'm going to start driving and start getting myself out, and hopefully should have some fun in the future. So yeah, this is what I was on about. Tech services. I'm planning on using that hopefully to get my Glock mags repaired. And then we've got FPS limit stuff, which all of my weapons are perfectly suited to those, if not a little bit below. I want to get my sniper rifle up to 500 FPS, but not really firing that hard. I think it was only getting to about 400. But the other problem I have with Apocalypse Paintball is they have a chicken farm pretty much right behind them, and as a result, we're not allowed to use 40 mic launchers or bang type grenades because it'll scare the shit out of the chickens. However, we are allowed to use smoke grenades and gas-powered frag grenades, which I have used. I've got somewhere, when I can find them, I have a couple of ASG Storm 360s, and they're very nice grenades if I didn't lose one for several months and only recently find it. So, yeah, should be a good day, as it always is with them. So we've got that to look forward to. Let's set that back. So over here, this is my plans as far as the future is concerned. Oh, I completely forgot. Now, one of the things I noticed when I first started playing was that everyone has their own little range of melee weapons that they like to use at these game days. I saw these like thin plastic swords, the really crap ones that you can buy from like a corner shop. And a while back, many years back now, I was quite interested in getting into live action role playing as far as like fantasy stuff is concerned and swords and stuff. As a result, this is a little bit of a personal symbol. This is, as far as I can remember, a 3 foot, 2.5 foot long polymer. Nice polymer as well. It's a nice solid build. Longsword, or arming sword as my brother will happily chew me out for. It's a fantastic little bit of kit. I got it years ago for about a tenner, and it's never failed me. Well, I say that I have never actually had a melee kill yet. I'm still working on that. Because it turns out that it's really difficult to get melee kill when everyone knows that your weapon is your melee weapon is about as long as their assault rifle is. So they're all kind of keeping an eye out for you. But yeah, it's become a bit of a personal symbol. I always keep it on me when I'm going to Airsoft games. So if you spot that, it's likely that I'm around. But anyway, as I was just getting on to, these are my plans, or my overall plans as far as like what weapons I want to get in the future is concerned. This is all just listings on Patrol Base. I haven't looked at other sites yet because Patrol Base is where I've gotten most of my weapons from, including the revolver, Glock 18, M16, L96. Most of my armament has come from them and barely ever failed. So that's why I trust them significantly, and the only reason any of my weapons have ever failed me is because either I've done something wrong to them or because it's just the company that's made them hasn't done something properly, or hasn't been able to do something properly, like with this. But this came from Combat UK. This is that's nothing against them. This is Tokyo Marori, which are normally good, but clearly I've got a defective one. So anyway, enough of that. This is what I've got in mind. So first one I've got WeTech F229. I will also, don't know if I marked, no I didn't mark all of them. So that's a green gas, and let's, can I filter it please? Okay, maybe not. So it's a WeTech F229. Oh, refinement results, there we go. F series, SIG F229. Can I pick brand? We Europe. Which one did I pick out? I think it was this one. Yeah, probably this one. Yep, SIG P229 or F229. Yeah. Yep, it is this one. I should have just, I'm going to do that from now on. So yeah, I kind of like the look of this weapon. I've always kind of wanted a P229. They're pretty nice pistols. I mean, I'm not looking at getting any of these for a while yet. This is sort of end game, what I want to have as a total armory sort of thing. That's the general idea. Moving on, KJ M9, sort of as a replacement to the M92 that died. I'm hoping I'll be able to take some parts from this and just slap them on the M92 I have at the moment. Hopefully that works. But this is a nice pistol. My one is olive green. I think mine's the Taurus one. The Taurus PT92AF or something like that. But it's incredibly like the real thing apparently. It looks a lot like my one. And it's a nice weapon. I like M9s. I always have liked M9s and M92s. They are nice pistols. There's a reason why they were if not still are, the US standard issue, besides the M1911. Then I kind of wanted one of these, the Russian standard issue. Makarov. Reason why I wanted that is because I want a Makarov. I like Makarovs, they're nice pistols. I also wanted to try and get a Russian loadout together because anyone that knows me knows that Russia is one of my two favourite countries, for a very good reason. They just get shit done. Moving on again. We've got the WeTech Glock 34. Reason being, I'm planning on not replacing the entire slide. I might replace the slide shell itself. And I'm probably going to replace I need to replace the outer barrel. That's why I'm getting it. But paying 120 quid is a lot better than paying 165. So that's why I'm getting this version, so I can have a full metal Glock 34. But yeah, that's the reasoning behind that. Now, after my last experience with a TM weapon, or my current experience with a TM weapon, I don't know why I'm going there again, but the Mark 23 SOCOM. Reason being, I've been playing Metal Gear for a very, very long time, and anyone that knows Metal Gear Solid 1 knows that the Mark 23 SOCOM pistol was the first pistol you got in Metal Gear Solid 1. I believe you also got it again in Metal Gear Solid 4 because nostalgia, I guess. And it seems to me as though the SOCOM seems to be the main weapon of choice for a lot of the much more experienced airsofters. So I thought, hey, might as well give it a go. My next weapon, I wanted to get the TM. Why has it gone? Didn't want you to do that. Why has it gone Google search? Oh, it's because I've got full. It's because I picked it out at the wrong point. There we go. So main reason behind that, again, it's an M92. I like M92s. It's also a nice big heavy pistol, and as I've experienced with this, I like having a big heavy pistol. I'm not too big a fan of these lightweight plastic pistols, because I find a heavier pistol gives me a much more stable aim, as is the case with the revolver. And also, I mean, look at it. It just looks awesome. It's just a fantastic looking pistol, even if it is a bit of a hefty price tag for a pistol. And also, I am a bit of a fan of the Resident Evil series, so again, that's my main reasoning behind that. Then we go to a 1911. I've always wanted a 1911. Again, going back to Metal Gear Solid, MGS3. Loved that game to bits, and this was the first lethal pistol you got in the game, I believe. So it's a nice weapon. I really, really want one, and it's not even that hefty a price tag, even if it is out of stock at the moment. Now, bet people have been eyeing this up the whole time it's been on the screen. Everyone's getting one of these days, and with good reason. My buddy Scrim Airsoft has got one. I got to have a bit of a look and a feel on his one. It's a fantastic pistol. It gets the job done really nicely. It's just a great all-round pistol. There's loads of reviews for it all around the place. I think Jet Desert Fox did one. I think I cannot name all the people that have done reviews on it. There are just far too many. Now, going back to Patrol Base. This was originally one that I was going to get within the next few days. However, I learned I wasn't getting as much money that I thought I was. so I had to take it out of the listing. But this is my this is the Witech High Kappa 7.0 Dragon Type A. Fantastic looking pistol, fairly similar to the Barry Burton M92 that we were looking at earlier. Only it's a high kappa and it looks awesome. And it can run on both gas and CO2, but I'm going to be running it on gas because I prefer gas. All round fantastic looking pistol, takes 5.2 high kappa mags. All round great pistol that I'm looking at expanding to very soon, hopefully. Now we move on to my planned assault rifles. This is going to take a while, so if you don't want to look through all the plans with me, then I'll put a link or something to further on in the video. G&G's CMRK47. This is more of a recent thing. I have kind of wanted to get an AK. Again, it's sort of going back to the Russian thing. I mean, there was a time when I seriously preferred M16s, like really liked M16s over AKs, because AKs seem to be the weapon that most bad guys end up using in pretty much everything. And there's a reason for that. The AK is a seriously reliable weapon. You can drag it through pretty much anything, pick it up, give it a dust off, and put a mag in it, and it will fire. It's one of the most reliable weapons out there. And there's a serious reason why I want to get one, even if I'm talking about the live fire version, not the Airsoft version. We'll see about the Airsoft version. Now this one, fairly similar to the M16 that I already have, but this one I have a feeling I'll be able to customize a bit more. This is the R8L as opposed to the L, which is what I have. The big difference with this one, it has no front sight post, it also has no rear sights because it comes with a scope. Or rather, I think that's a red dot sight, but anyway. Really nice looking weapon, fairly similar to the one that I've got at the moment. It's pretty much the same as far as I think pretty much from the chamber back is all the same. It's just the barrel and the foregrip and the scope that's different. I think it's pretty much the same past that. On top of that, I think they use a lot more aluminium parts in this and steel as opposed to using polymer pretty much everywhere. So yeah, that would look like a good replacement to my M16 if I did want to pass on to anyone. And this is my next choice, the S&T T21. I would either get this or the Ares version. The reason being, I really like bullpup weapons. Bullpup weapons are my favourite, with good reason. We'll get onto that in a second. But the reason why I wanted to get a Tavor is because same friend who gave me the fibre optic sights for this had one, and I was going to end up getting it off him, but missed out on that. But I thought, why not? They're nice weapons. I'll look at getting one myself. So there's the reasoning behind that. G&G CM Up 9. Up 9s are a fairly serious mainstay of pretty much the entire Airsoft community. Everyone loves Up 9s. Apparently it can even take, I've heard a rumour that it can actually take Glock mags. It's probably wrong, looking at the, I mean they're the same caliber weapon, but I don't know, I'll have to have a look. But it's a nice CQB weapon, and I need to get more CQB weapons. So yeah. Now, I'm a little bit sketchy on this one because it's Jingong and I have no idea what Jingong are like, but They seem to me to be one of those really cheap Chinese brands. I guess you could call G&G the same thing, except G&G are a lot more reliable than pretty much everything else. Um, but anyway, the reason why I want this one, I like G36s, I like the SL8. It's a nice sniper rifle, nice semi-auto sniper rifle. Main reason why I like this one is because of that nice solid stock, fairly similar to my L96. And I just like the look and the feel of the rest of the weapon. It's a nice chunky weapon. So I've always wanted to try and get one of those. So we'll see in the future. This is one that I really want to get. It's basically an LVOAC only chambered in 308. It's a really nice looking weapon. It would be a serious improvement over my current M16s. I believe this one would be even better still, I guess. But yeah, it's a really serious upgrade that I really want to get. Plus, I don't know what it is, but I started playing Ring of Elysium recently, and I'll try and get some videos done on that on the gaming channel. But I started using the LVOAC in that, and wow, big fan of that. Nice, really nice weapon. Which leads me nicely onto the next one, which is a Crytek Mark II War Sport LVOAC foliage green. I want to get the black version, thank you. I know it's out of stock at the moment, but hey ho. Nice weapon. I don't know if it's blowback or not. Let's have a look. I don't think it is electric blowback. I think it's just... yeah, I think it's non-blowback. Comes with... did I see that right? Fucking earplugs? The hell would you need earplugs for, dude? Seriously. Let's see. So, where's the blowback? Blowback, none. Okay. I thought it might be interesting to find out, but yeah, no blowback on this. But yeah, this is basically like the other one, only it's the 5.56 chambered version. Which, speaking of 5.56, this is my main reason for liking bullpups. L85A2. There is a very big reason. I love this rifle to bits. It's not just because I'm British. It's because I am a former air cadet, and I did a lot of work around the around shooting in the air cadets, and this was one of my absolute favourites because it was my first time firing 5.56. It was my first time with that rifle, and on the day I got my hands on it, I got myself the regional marksman qualification, and I mean that's the second best in terms of the regular marksman qualifications you can get, and that was my first day using it. That's how accurate the weapon was, and that's how much I just instantly fell in love with it. It's just a very nice looking and feeling weapon. I mean, there are a lot of downsides to it. There are a lot of people that say Hey, it's 5.56. It's not like it's 7.62. It doesn't have that much kick. It's not that. It's not like it's as powerful as like an AK or even GPMG or anything like that. Actually, I can't remember whether GPMG uses 5.56 or I can't remember. The other reason why I like this weapon is because I do want to get just a full British loadout. I'm pretty much there. I just need to get this. I mean, my Glock 18C. I know they use the Glock 17. I'm not sure about the 18 in the military at the moment in Britain. I know that because I did a uniform services training course. And very nearly went into the RAF if it wasn't for things that happened. And well, this is probably the weapon I would have been using if I went into the. I've just noticed the trigger guard seems to be so thin. I think it's just the pictures they're taking. Yeah, trigger guard is very clearly there, but in this it's completely invisible. But yeah, I do really, really, really like this weapon. It's a fantastic weapon, and I can't wait to get one in Airsoft. So again, there's that to look forward to in future. And the other thing about this one is that it is blowback. I know Desert Fox did a review on this one very, very recently on this exact model, and he liked it, but there were some little bits about it, but then that was because he's American. He's not British. He doesn't know this weapon. He's too used to his M4s. He's too used to his AR-15s. Just stick to what you know, dude. So yeah, that I've got a lot of history with that weapon and I really like it. Then we'll move over to G36. This is the last AR that I've got up there. I've always wanted a G36. They're nice weapons. I think this is the C because it's got the short barrel. I believe it's got blowback. If it hasn't, oh well. It's a nice weapon. If you're wondering why there's a few S&T weapons out there, up there, it's because originally I didn't know about S&T, but then Airsoft Mike did a review on the I think it was the M1903 Springfield by S&T, and that was a custom version that he was sent, and it looked like it was a really, really nice weapon. So I wondered, hey, S&T might not be that bad, so I'll give them a shot and see what they're like. We'll see how that goes. Now, on to SMGs. Why wouldn't I go for this? Chris, this is the officially licensed one that, again, Airsoft Mike did a review on. It's 450 quid, but there's a reason for its hefty price tag. It's just a fantastically well-made replica all round. I mean, of course, it would be with it being a fully licensed crisp actor. So does it have blowback? None. So it doesn't have blowback, but it does have safe, semi, fully, 2-round burst. So yeah, there is a serious reason why I want to get that weapon. It is a nice CQB weapon, and I can't wait to get my hands on one in future. Oh shit. Wrong button. There we go. Again, another one that is a pretty decent mainstay. If I was going with an SMG loadout, I would probably use this because of the fact that it's pretty much the size. It's about the same size as like M16 in terms of its barrel length, I think. but then it's a much slimmer body form, which I should be able to use quite nicely. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice looking weapon. It should perform quite nicely. Right, I believe, in fact, I'm very certain this is the same weapon that I'm getting tomorrow. Well, buying tomorrow. Yep, it is. G&G MP5A5 railed with blowback, and it looks, and I believe it will probably feel like a fantastic weapon. I really want to get an MP5. It's not just because I've seen Die Hard, and there were rather a few MP5s in that. But it's also because I need an SMG, because a lot of the weapons I have at the moment are big and clunky, and I want to get an SMG so that I can have it for CQB type stuff. And it's well customizable as well because of the rails and everything that's built onto it, and of course it's got the pneumatic blowback as well. So yeah, should be a nice addition to my armament. We'll have to see when it gets here. Imrex UMP blowback, another blowback SMG. I like UMPs, I always have. It's kind of a nice weapon. It's pretty much the same reasoning as it would be for the MP5. On top of that, Imrex are just good all round. Now I know immediately what everyone's going to be going. Oh, Simon, no. Yeah, the reason why I've gone for this one is because of the fact that it's a P90. I love P90s; they're fantastic weapons. It doesn't even cost it. It doesn't cost any more. In fact, it's got the same cost as my L96. So it's a nice, cheap submachine gun. Fantastic weapon for CQB. The only reason I've picked the Cyma version is because, as far as I can tell, it's the best P90 on patrol base. As far as I know, if anyone knows any better, please do say so. Switching over to fire support to have a look at the Tokyo Marui P90. This is my good alternative to the Cyma version. Not really a lot more to say past that. It's just a better version than the one that I'm looking at on patrol base. Fuck's sake, I've done it again. Bugger it. Of course I want one of these. There is a very good reason why I want one of these. I've seen them in action, and me being a trained sniper, I would absolutely love one of these, but unfortunately for me, the price tag is a little hefty. And do not even get me started on Brexit. But I don't know if that's going to affect prices. It probably will do. Fuck you, government. But yeah, it's a fantastic all-round weapon. Absolutely faultless. Then we go over to the VSR-10. I was looking at seeing if Novrich did the VSR-10, but I don't think he does anymore. Basically, the same friend that I mentioned earlier got the G-Spec version through me, and yeah, I got a bit of a look and a feel with that one because it was with me for a while before I managed to get it up to him. And wow, I loved it because of the fact that I could have cycled that thing with just one finger. The trigger pull was so smooth and so light, especially compared to the chunky, heavy trigger pull on the L96. And yeah, it's just a fantastic weapon and I mean, as they say, ultimate sniper rifle. And again, as they say again, unlimited, limitless upgrade potential, as Novrich has shown before he moved over to the SSG-24. So yeah, pretty solid choice on that one. Doesn't really need a lot of justification. Back to G&G, GL25, another one that I've kind of gone onto a Ring of Elysium as well as other games and thought, hey, this is a really, really nice weapon. Imagine what I could do with it if I had it in Airsoft. Yeah, I'll have to see with that. It's a semi-auto, and I do kind of like semi-auto sniper rifles because of the fact that they are it's kind of like that idea that if you miss the first time, you can just take an immediate follow-up shot. So yeah, that's pretty much the justification around that. Then we go to one that I really like the look of, the DSR-1. Now, the reason why I like this is because not only does it have 2 magazines, and Airsoft Mike did a review of this very, very recently, within the last few days, and he just goes over the whole weapon, and it's a solid choice for a nicely trained sniper who just knows how to stay in one place and, well, does a sniper ought to. The only problem I can see with this is weight, but then the L96 is nicely weighted, so we'll have to see. The other thing is bullpup, going back to that whole idea of bullpups again. Solid choice for me, really. So yeah, that's it for sniper rifles. Now we go over to LMGs. This again is one of those things that I'm kind of looking at and thinking, yeah, I need. Now, the annoying thing with this, I damn near got trained on this weapon as a cadet, and oh, I'm so annoyed that I aged out before I got the chance. It's pretty much the same justification as the L85. I did a lot of training with the platform, not just the L86, but the L85. Well, the L98 was the target rifle version that we actually got trained on, but they're pretty much the same weapon, apart from the fact that the fire selector was removed and locked to semi-auto. And again, it's one of those weapons that is just brilliant, all-round weapon. Can't really fault it. Now, main reason for this, again, going back to Metal Gear, I loved the M60. On top of that, if I wanted to make a Vietnam build, then yeah, that's pretty much where the M60 made its name. It's a nice weapon. I like it. I like the look of it. I like the way it feels, because I have, I believe I've held. Yeah, there was a guy at one of the games that I went to had one, and it was a nice feeling weapon, nice and solid. 249. Again, pretty solid choice. There's the Mark II version. LMG. What else can you say? Really? AGM MG42, main reason for this. Again, Metal Gear Solid. Peace Walker in this case. MG42. There's a reason why that thing, whenever it fired during World War II, there was a reason why the Allies cowered in fear whenever this thing roared. Serious weapon. I don't know if it's going to have the same rate of fire as the real steel version. I hope it does. We'll have to see. But again, it's one of those weapons that you can't really fault. Now, let's see. M63. Again, just kind of going back to that Metal Gear thing. I don't know why I went for this specific version. It doesn't really look anything like the M63 that I used in MGS. But again, it's a nice weapon, looks and feels good. We will have to see. Mark 23. I think that's not far off the same as the M63. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as the. I might keep that one on and get rid of the M63. Okay, so that's all for LMGs. Shotguns. This is pretty much going to be a lot of the same weapon. Most of them are M870s. This is the Nuprol Sierra Storm Alpha polymer version. Reason for this, I want a stocked shotgun. It's a nice weapon. I just want a nice shotgun. It's pretty much the main reasoning behind that. Rather than going and copying the URLs, we've got the same thing but in metal, which is out and back in. I'd have to go out of this list and go back into the metal version. Then I've got the Charlie, which is the non-stocked version, which looks like it'll be a great CQB weapon. We'll have to see. Then we have the M870 TM. Nice weapon all round. That's faux wood, isn't it? Yeah, that's faux wood. Ugh. Yeah, pretty much faultless gas shotgun. You can either use 3-round shot or 6-round shot. And it's a TM, so it's nice quality as well, in theory. Then sticking with TM for the next couple. Absolutely faultless choice, AA12. I think it was Novrich did a thing on this one. Yeah, it's pretty much faultless. Fully auto shotgun. It can just fire a wall of BBs. You will never get bored of this thing. It's just fantastic. SGR12, pretty much the same reasoning as the other one, as the AA12. Only this one actually, I believe, takes shotgun shells rather than just being the individual BBs. I think anyway. It might just be that the BBs are loaded in there. Let's have a look at the specification. It's unique, apparently. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's not a shot. That's not a shell firer. I thought it was, but oh well. Then, finally moving away from TM, the ASG Spaz 12. Again, another solid choice. I do like Spaz 12s. They're nice shotguns. The real version is actually supposed to be pump action and semi-auto. You can switch it between the two. Just I think it's by pushing the pump forward, and just until you hear that click. I think, and I believe anyway. I might be wrong, but it seems they have kept this as pump action. Have a look. Fire selector, yeah, pump action. So that's all for. We're nearly there now. That's all for shotguns. We're now going to move over to launchers. This is where the fun begins. I know, Cymer again, but main reason behind this is it's a pistol grenade launcher. It's also really cheap, but then that's because you're spending more in the shells than you are in the launcher. They say it's heavy duty with a full alloy body, and under that reasoning it might be okay. Polymer grip seems like a bit of a weak point, but it might be a nice weapon. We'll have to see. Going back to S&T, M203, nice weapon all round, really. I mean, I've got a weapon-mounted grenade launcher at the moment. Mine's the Big Dragon Havoc, I think it is. It's a bit minimalist as far as its construction is concerned, which is why I want to get a better one like this one. This is an absolute favourite internationally. It's the ICS 6-barrel grenade launcher. Seen this thing in action on both online and in gameplay, and it is just fantastic. At the moment I don't even have 6 shells to use with it, but we'll get onto that in a minute. But it is just a devastating CQB weapon. Or even not even, I mean, you could use this outside of CQB and you might still be okay. Nuprol N79 Thumper, another one that Airsoft Mike did a review on recently. Solid weapon all round, real wood as well. And again, it's going back to the Vietnam War. So I might have a nice all round Vietnam War loadout eventually. I just need the M16A1. But yeah, that's a fairly solid choice. Fairly similar to the Cymer grenade launcher pistol, in that it's a breech load single loader. Yeah, I think it was Clean Shot did a bit of gameplay with this. Yeah, it's a bazooka. What else can you say, really? It's an M9A1 bazooka. It's just faultless, really. I mean, I don't know about Apple Airsoft. I don't really know anything about them. But seems to me to be a fairly solid choice as far as wanting a bazooka is concerned. Now, moving on to the grenades and mines. Neutral 40mm Moscow cap head. Reason for this one as opposed to a shower head, I've got 3 of the shower head ones. They are crap. They do not hold their BBs. By the time you get round to loading your shell in and firing it, most of the BBs are already out and all over your pouches. Or even all over the airsoft field. This, you don't get that problem. They're all in there, they're all held. And if you run out of the caps, you can literally use tape. You can use any form of tape you got, like insulation tape, like just sellotape, anything. You can use any form of tape and it will work. Fantastic 40mm shell, and it's just all round great. And you can pretty much load anything in it. You don't need to use BBs. You can use paintballs, talcum powder. You can pretty much turn it into any kind of launcher, really. This is immediate. I mean, I'm not going to be able to use it at the village, but everyone knows they want a 40 mic. Now, the reason why I wanted to get this was because, well, no, I don't even need to justify why I need this. It's a 40 mic. I mean, for those that don't know about the 40 mic, I might as well do some explaining. For those that don't know, the 40 mic, as I'm going to scroll down here, it fires more like a beam of BBs. It's just a fantastic launcher that not only can you fire a beam of BBs, but it can also, unlike most grenades where it's just one bang and you just let it all out, you can actually pull the trigger multiple times and it will, well, that's unless you just hold the trigger until it's all gone. But it's like a burst. You can just, you can tone it to be a burst. But it seems Nuprol 2.0 gas is the best you can use because CO2, HPA, Nuprol 3 or 4 can all damage it, whereas you can use Duster or Nuprol 1. But the great thing about this, it does literally sound like an angry duck. It's crazy. If you don't know what it sounds like, look it up. You'll get what I mean. It's just great, but that's the reason why they don't allow it at the village, because of the fact that it's loud and it sounds like an angry duck. Again, a fairly solid choice for the technical kind of player. I mean, ever since I got into Airsoft, I've always wanted one of these. It's motion activated as well, so it's again a fairly solid choice. And I'm the tricky kind of player, so I like these kind of technical things. So I just like laying traps for my enemies. ASG Storm, well, that's what I wish this was, but it seems Patrol Base don't have those anymore. They've got the ERAS Z parts thing. The reason why I like this as opposed to the ASG Storm is this seems to be, well, it's more of a cylindrical shape, so it's easier to store. I don't know what the... Can we get the rough size of it? Because I'm just hoping if the diameter is 40mm, then, of course, don't load it into a 40mm launcher, but... what you can do is you can slot it into 40mm pouches. That's what I'm hoping anyway. It doesn't look like it is. I think the width said it was like 51 centimeters. Yeah, approximately 51 centimeters, and height being 88. So it's a little bit bigger. Wait, 51 centimeters. I bet they've got that wrong. I think that's meant to be millimeters. There's no way it's 51 centimeters. Jesus. Another airsoft innovations: the XL bursts, bang grenade, reusable. This solid choice, really, if you want a bang grenade. Now this one, another bang grenade, and it's not a blank. It's not a gas firer like this. This one is BFG, blank firing grenade. Now onto this, because I think this is the only place you can really get them. But the Tremor E1X4. I really want to get one of these, but again, it's another one that wouldn't be usable at the village. 100 quid for one, and you're sorted. Within the UK as well. It is just mean, and it really has bang to it, especially if you use 12 gauge blanks, which I'm planning on getting a whole bunch of those eventually. But yeah, it's just a solid choice for any blank firer that wants it. Anyway, so that's that. That's well done for sticking this far. If you have kept going this far, have I made any changes? Shouldn't have done. Just hoping I haven't. Now we move on to my immediate plans. This isn't going to take long, but I'm looking at the MP5, which we were looking at earlier. We'll full screen this. Yeah, MP5. I'm planning on getting it on finance because I'm not a rich man. I cannot afford a massive amount of. I cannot afford 290 quid in one payment. And that's no longer for both. I forgot to change that. MP5 meg caps. Again, I'm not getting high caps because they're a pain in the arse. I'm planning on getting 6 of them. I might downgrade that to 4, but 100 round mid cap mags, nice, fairly solid choice. My assault vest, which I use at the moment, I'm planning on changing out for this molly belt, which, now that I think about it, let's go back to that. So this is the molly belt I'm looking at getting. It should be able to hold everything I want it to, and it's not expensive. It's only 20 quid, so it's a nice cheap choice. So basically what I'm looking at doing is basically switching up my loadout. So instead of having just a massive vest with all the stuff on it, I'm just going to have the belt, so it should make me a lot quicker on the field. MP5 mag pouches. Molly carries 3 mags, which is why I say get 6. So if I get 2 of those, that's 16 quid. Pistol mag pouches will either suit the Glocks, or when I do get around to getting it, the high cap, the high capper. And then double mag pouches. The reason why I went for those is because of the sniper rifle, because I found out that I can either use the double mag pouches to hold the M16 mags, or I can use it to hold these. It's getting dark now, I just realised. Yeah, these are the M16 L96 mags, and I'd have to load it in like that into a magazine pouch. So I don't really have anything that can hold those magazines just yet. Sit and stay, you awkward bastard. Fuck it. Sit, stay. So yeah, that's the reason for that. Pistol holster, the reason why I want a new pistol holster, I've got the drop leg platform for Glocks, but I need to move to this, probably not in olive green. I'll get it in multicam to fit the rest of my uniform, but reason for this is because A, it'll take a pistol with a torch or a laser sight on it. The other thing is, it'll allow me to carry pretty much any pistol I want, and it's cheaper than getting the hard shell case, the hard shell holster for the high capper, and it means that when I do get the high capper, I don't have to go getting a new holster, and also it means that I can carry this drop leg as well as the other weapons. So pretty solid all-round choice. Other thing is, I don't have any elbow and knee pads. The reason being I need these is because I'm in a woodland area, and woodland areas are very unpredictable when it comes to these. When it comes to sharp things like twigs and dirt and shit, or dirt and sharp, you know what I mean. So yeah, I just need some new padding, really. I'm also looking to get some repair parts, and these will be bought in time for next week, I hope. But I'm looking at getting a set of 5 WeTech base plates, because here's a mag that is not gas loaded but is BB loaded. But this is pretty much fresh from the last game I was at. I lost the base plate for it, and I've got 2 more mags, I think, that have lost their base plates. So I thought I'd get 5 just to make sure that I have plenty around, just in case I lose any more. Fill valve O-rings. That's one of the main reasons why some of the Glock mags I've had to stop using, because they've lost their fill valve O-rings and they will not fill properly. So I'm just looking at getting those, just to make sure I can properly load my magazines. And then I'm looking in future. This isn't something I'm looking at getting within tomorrow, because I don't think I'll have enough money. But 1,000 round winder speed loader. I don't have one. It's for the Stanag mags, for the M16 mags, because I've got one of the smaller speed loaders, and it takes ages to fill one of those, which is not good. Then I've got 400 round plunger speed loader, and the reason why I've bookmarked this one is because the 1,000 round winder is not in stock at the moment, whereas this is in stock at the moment. So this, I should just be able to use that to load both standard and gas mags, apparently, and it's cheaper as well. So we'll have to see how that goes. Then we're pretty much into the last bits of notes here. So we've got, I'll just keep that marked. We've got 40 my cap head claymore. It's basically the stuff that I had in the last list. Ammo and gas. This is oh bollocks. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. So, I know what you're thinking. This is a magazine. This is a box mag for the Mark II Crytek Trident. Yeah, the great thing about this is mag style Stanag. It'll fit anything that is M4, AR-15, M16, or 5.56. I would go as far as to say mag compatible, which is tremendously useful. it means that I can pretty much turn any 5.56 weapon I have, including, and this would be a very chunky choice, the L85 or an L86 once I get one of those. So that is a solid choice, really, just to turn any of my... I mean, I don't like high caps, but an LMG box, I want to see how that goes, because that's battery-powered winding, so that's technically auto-winding. Unlike regular high caps where you've got this annoying windy wheel, and I don't like the flash mags either, because I can't do that shit. Just doesn't sit well with me, really. Now, I'm not going to bother bringing that up, actually. I need to get some red gas because I've only got green gas, and green gas does not perform very well in cold weather, as I discovered in the last game. Now, there's a reason why I wanted to bring these up, because... I can close that now. I did do some editing, so I can go. Right. Now, the reason why I want to bring these up is because at the moment I'm firing .43s out of my sniper rifle. Now, if I step that up to .5s, A, it's a little bit heavier. Actually, I can't remember if I was using .43s or .48s. I think it's .43s. These are a little bit heavier, and on top of that, they are certainly being branded as invisible rounds, and I can get the reasoning behind that, because what I've noticed in gameplay is when you have white or light green BBs as like .2s or .25s, they do tend to show up quite nicely, so you can dodge rounds quite nicely, whereas invisible rounds, or grey rounds as these are, you're not going to be able to see those coming when they're moving at speed. Whereas you can if it's the lighter colours. So I wanted to get these to give my weapon a bit more punch, and also I will need to get better hop up. But also I would want to see how easily I can take people down with it, because the dark grey colour should make them damn near impossible to see. So yeah, that's my main reasoning for that. I think that's everything. I think I have pretty much everything noted down. I think we've pretty much gone through everything. On top of that, I am also going to mention, I have just started making plans, hopefully, to make my own M16, custom M16. When I say this, I don't mean I'm going to get all the materials together and build one myself. No, what I mean is I'm going to buy basically a combination of aftermarket parts, get a base weapon, and customise the hell out of it. The reason for this is because I like having an M16, but I don't want to have one that's just a base level weapon like what everyone else has got. I want to have my own weapon. Now, to do this, I will probably want to get I'll probably want to get a blowback one, and I'll probably want to get one that is not too expensive, but still fairly powerful. Let's see. I probably want to base it off an LVOAC platform. So I'll probably try and... No, because that's 308 platform weapon rather than 5.56. Where's an LVOAC? So no, I want a blowback one, really. If there's a blowback LVOAC around. Can't see one anywhere. That one looks fairly beefy. Oh, but then it's got that annoying cap. I don't like it when they're capped like that. But I do like it when they're just sort of open a bit. Like at the end, like on the LVOIC. Like that. But basically what matters in this isn't the... I'm literally just contradicting myself. What matters about this is the internals. It's not necessarily about the appearance of it, because I'm planning on going absolutely mad with customization. This includes new barrel, new handguard, new stock, probably new muzzle. Like the lot is just going to go crazy. But this is why I want to make it a blowback version that's nice and reliable. That's gas blowback. I don't want a gas blowback. Which means I probably want to change the filtering. Skill level, we'll keep as is. Defense required, yes. Brand, I'm not going to limit that. Primary colour, black. Actually, primary colour we don't need, because it doesn't matter. Right, so let's see what we've got. That can't be all of them, surely. Got 148 in here, apparently. That's not 148, sorry, no. I think it might be the primary. Let's try refreshing the page, see if that does anything. No. Huh. Weird. Oh, there we go. It's just loaded it now. So, I might save this until... let's see. Actually, it's that one. Is that one blowback? Don't think it is. Nope, no blowback. Where are all the blowback weapons at? Where are all the blowback weapons at? Is that blowback? Nope. And it's taking too long. I'll sort that out later. Yeah, I'll go through and I'll try and I'll do an unveiling. I think I will on that, really. Because I think that needs a proper introduction when I get it properly designed. But anyway, that's everything. We've gone through everything I possibly can. Thank you all so much for watching and watching me ramble and go on about stuff. If you like what I have in mind or like what I have literally spread around me, give it a like and subscribe and see what I have in future. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.